Ora Internet and Mary Kahimeti. I am here with Brenda from conquering Mount Scrapmore.
Hello, future cat in New Zealand. That's so much fun. Yeah, we're currently everybody said, "Oh, I love your new studio." It's like we're in Arizona right now. Normally, I'm from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, but we do the snowbird thing in the winter time because you don't have to shovel sunshine. So, how has it been? How's life for you in New Zealand?
Oh, it's lovely summer here. It is hot. The sun is shining, and I'm on my Christmas holidays, so I'm very relaxed, very happy.
Yeah, it's what is it now here? It's 23 Celsius today. So that's it's just gorgeous. It's really bright, sunny. I'm standing in front of a window with drapes closed, and now a piece of fabric is hanging on top of the drapes. Otherwise, there's too much sunlight coming in. So
Yeah,
yeah, it's
yeah.
beautiful and sunny.
I think we're expected to get up to 27 today or something like that. So similar temperature. Nice, yeah.
Yeah,
But
awesome. Yeah.
that counts as hot for us. So.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So how was your trip to New York? Because you,
Oh, it was amazing.
when did you go again? And when did you go up to New
It
York?
was May, I think. Yeah, it was a long time ago now. It feels like, but it was really great. I mean, we went over there for work, so it was mostly to visit universities in New York and I've forgotten the name of the place, somewhere just north of New York, and then we went down to Washington DC and went to a university in Virginia. Um, Connecticut, that was the other one we went to.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, so really great to get to visit American universities and find out how they run things. But in amongst that, we did a lot of sightseeing and visited some quilt stores, which was great.
Did you get to see the modern art gallery there in New York? I understand it's amazing.
Yes. Yeah, I went there. I think it was my last day in New York. I was like, I haven't been to a museum yet, so quickly dashed in to see that one. And oh, it was incredible. Just so much art. And so lots of paintings I recognized. I was like, oh, I know that's like a famous American artist. And yeah,
Oh
it was
yeah, very cool.
great.
So come on, Dish, how many quilt stores did you hit?
Does Joanne's count?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, we'll count that one as a quilt store because they have a really good selection of cottons and whatnot. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I think there was one in New York that was an actual quilt store, and then we went to a few other fabric stores because the colleague I was traveling with, she makes clothing. So we went to quite a few places that didn't sell quilting cotton, but they sold clothing
Yeah, the
fabrics.
garment district area is like,
Yeah,
my gosh, you have everything under the sun
yeah,
ever that you would want for garments. So
yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, we went to this incredible trim shop that was just all sparkles and glitter, and it was incredible. And then yeah, I went to Joanne's in Connecticut because we were out in the middle of nowhere in this like sort of mall place, and that was the only decent shop that was there. And then in Virginia, we were in oh, I'm forgetting the names of all the towns we went to, but wherever it had a lovely, lovely quilt shop there. And I discovered that it existed on like the day before we flew out. So I like raced there at the end of the day and was like, don't close yet. I want to look around your shop. And it was
Please
wonderful. It was,
don't close, please. You wouldn't believe how much I'm paying for cotton in New Zealand. Oh my
yeah,
God.
I did have to throw away a few clothes so I could like fit everything in my suitcase.
Oh yeah, yeah. You know, when you think about it, clothes are replaceable. Like I know we have actually bought luggage to put fabric in. So yeah, I get that. I totally understand that. That yeah, we have no
I would
problem with
have done that except for I had a weight limit on the plane. So
that. Yeah, there's that too. So what kind of fabric did you pick up? What kind of what kind of like, ooh, look at that. Like what was that?
all sorts of random stuff. I've done a video like showing off all the fabric I bought, so I won't pull it all out and do that again. But lots of just things I haven't seen here. So stuff that's like new lines, or sometimes when it's an old line, but we only get like 2 or 3 of the
Yes.
fabrics. You don't get the full colorways. So it was like, oh, I recognize that fabric, but I haven't seen it in that colorway. Um, some that just was fun, like this is my I want to do some work on this today. It's the wrong way up. It's
Is that like Christmas cats? Oh
Christmas
my
cat.
god. Oh my god, is
So,
that
so that's
darling?
kind of my plan for today. I would like to actually like turn it into something. I don't know what.
You know, you could have lots of fun fussy cutting that, but I have a
Yes.
fussy cutting horror story. I'll show you what I did. I I picked up this fabric, right, in a thrift
Oh,
store,
that's
right?
gorgeous.
And it had all sorts of different lovely woodland animals on it.
Hmm.
But I thought, okay, I can fussy cut this to, you can measure a few, oh, you can fussy cut this to 4.5 inches square. It'll work great. And then then I'll play with it from there. Well, not all the animal faces are created equal, so not all of them came out to 4.5. So some of them are a little shy, but I also ended up with a bunch of half square triangles. Then I just kind of like finished making like it's a charity quilt for a toddler, right? I thought, well, yeah, it's like really bright. So, but everybody at the guilds, oh, it's so cool, it's so cute. I'm like, it's really bright. It's bright for me. So it's kind of like, all right, because there's no place really to rest your eye. But then
Yeah,
little ones, they love those crazy quilts. They're just, so what do I know apparently? Yeah. But yeah, that fussy cutting, yeah, make sure when you're drawing it out, like you draw
yeah.
it out first to make sure that, you know, because yeah,
I think I'm
that
gonna have
is
that same problem with the not everything being different sizes on this, because I'm looking like this guy's really tall, and then you've got little short ones. So
yeah, but that
yeah.
is just the most darling fabric. Oh my
It
god.
is beautiful. It's like I saw it and I thought, I have to get that because I don't know what I'm going to make out of it. And it's probably going to, but it's just, they're so cute. So,
When I walk into a quilt store and I see a bunch of, display of Christmas fabric, I walk past it like this. Don't look, don't look, don't look, don't look. I have like 2 drawers of Christmas fabric. And I can't remember the last time I bought Christmas fabric, but every time you get like donation or somebody
yeah,
said, "Well, I'm cleaning out my stash. Do you want this fabric, for charity quilts?" I go, "Yeah, sure, I'll take it." And you've got Christmas fabric.
yeah.
It's like, oh,
Yeah, it's like you buy it thinking I'm going to make all these Christmas things, and you don't actually have time to make more than one Christmas thing a year.
yes.
And then you have all this Christmas fabric that you bought thinking you're going to make so many Christmas fabric.
Well, I actually made I took all my little stuff and I sewed it together just like a crumb square. And then we made, what was it, last year we made the throw pillow covers for my oldest daughter, and we had to get her to help quilt and all this stuff. And we were all sick with a cold. We couldn't go anywhere. And it was, yeah, Liz was like, never again. Never
Yeah,
again. They look great. They're so cute. They were just adorable. They're the perfect Christmas crazy, crumb pillow slipcover.
yeah,
But it was like, yeah, never again. It was- well, and I think I'm not sure if it was because we were both so sick or if
yeah,
it was, I was, I can't do this alone. So you're going to help me because you want these. So I don't know. But yeah, I've got a couple of Christmas projects I got to finish from a few years ago. And I'm like, oh, we got to get that done too. Oh no. Yeah, but I don't know. I like doing Christmas stuff and that, but you almost have to start making your Christmas presents in like June.
yes,
Yeah, if you're, you know, especially if you're making little things for your coworkers and your, family. And or things that you want to send in the mail with a card or something. It's like, get
Yeah,
a
yeah.
card in May, cutting out fabric. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, one year I thought, oh, I could make like little wee like mug rug mats for all my colleagues at work, and it would be so lovely. And I forgot that I get really bored if I have to do the same thing more than once. And so I sewed all the tops, and then I came to quilt them, and I did one, and I thought this is really boring. I don't want to do any more of these. So it took me like 4 years to finish them.
Well, you know what's worse than the mug, like the mug rugs? It's putting the binding on the mug rugs now,
Oh yeah,
right? Because you sew around the, from the back, from the front, and then you flip it around and then you hand stitch all those little,
yeah.
and it's like, oh yay. Oh, another 40 to do, 39 to go. And, oh.
This is where I with anything small, I put a flange binding on it if I can, because then you just machine sew it from both sides and it looks really fancy, but no hand sewing. It's great.
Yeah, and it's I always try, if I'm going to do something, I would love to pick up that glittery thread,
Mm,
just because it's, usually Christmas fabric has so much glitter to it or embossing on it. But then, yeah, you just, you quilt it with glittery thread and nobody sees anything different. But I did end up with a black Christmas print, and it's all the little Christmas balls, like the that you would hang on a Christmas tree. And I thought, well, that's okay. That one's not bad. You cut it up small enough and you will never figure out what it is, right? But
mm.
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, we had our final guild meeting for the year uh last week, I think it was, and that you all had to bring along a fat quarter, and then we did that kind of uh evil Santa thing where you take something from the middle, but then the next person can steal it off you and
Oh
so on,
yes, yes.
round and round and round. And I just kept stealing the ones that were the least Christmassy, so I could cut this up and no one will know it's Christmas fabric.
Yeah, that's kind it's amazing what we think of. The other one is Halloween fabric. I always have a
Mm.
hard time with Halloween fabric, and I've got fabric here, just close at hand, that is cute, but it's got spiders on it.
Oh, I
And
have
the
a friend
whole
who would love that so much.
I have people too that would love it so much, but it's like the idea of putting bugs on your bed covering just, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's one of those, well, seasonal stuff is really hard for me to work with anyways, right? Because if I'm
Mm,
gonna make a Christmas quilt, I'm gonna buy green fabric, red fabric, gold fabric, whatever, and come together to make it Christmassy by color, not by
mm,
print, right?
yes.
But because normally I don't shop in the seasonal aisles because I don't feel like I get a good bang for my buck. But that's me,
Yeah.
you know. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes it's cute to have these little fabrics in here with all the different funny little things going on, but at the end of the day, now what?
Yeah, and you sort of feel like you have to use it like in a way that shows off the print. You can't cut it too small because you'd lose the Christmassy bit of it. And yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
I think you're right. Just fabric that you can just use as fabric, but is in the right colors.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because then it doesn't matter what it goes into. Yeah. I did get a print, and it's a Laura Lee Harris print. She's the lady who draws those really cute women. She did a whole series on nurses, another on teachers, and well, the one I'm giving my girlfriend because she's making a cowgirl quilt for her granddaughter. It's all cowgirls from Laura Lee Harris. And of course, I found Christmas prints because it's a Christmas cowgirl quilt that you
Mm.
want. I found Christmas prints that are very much Arizona, like the Christmas cactus, the saguaros with the big cactuses with the arms.
Oh yeah, those like in the cartoons. So
Yes, and they've got
right.
like Christmas lights wrapped around them, and
Mm.
like a wreath hanging off one arm or something. So I thought, okay, this is fabric. Here, look at this. What about this? What about that? And she's like, yeah, I could use that. Yeah, I could use that.
Mm.
I said, it's yours. It's yours. Because I don't, what would I do it? Other than cut it up and hope that I can disguise it somehow. Yeah, so,
Yeah.
but I don't know. So, what other plans do you have for traveling about here? Because you do a lot of
Oh,
travel videos too, and I am just always like, it's so impressed how beautiful New Zealand is.
yeah. I haven't got a lot planned. I went up to Auckland recently, up in the far north of New Zealand, and we spent a weekend on Waiheke Island, which is kind of like a holiday island just off the coast of Auckland, and had great time there. The rate I edit videos, those videos will probably be done by end of next year. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we had so much fun. We like saw dolphins in the sea there. It was just really lovely time. But I don't have anything specific planned for this year. Yeah, need to.
Yeah, it's for us, for the cameraman and myself, it's hard to, okay, where do we want to go on holidays when you spend 5 months on holidays?
Yes.
It's kind of like, yeah, by the time we get home, it's probably like the end of April, and like we got here late November. So yeah, it's like 5 months, 5.5 months on holidays. Okay, now what do we want to do? And it's like, but we just had so many holidays. Like, let's get back into the normal swinging of things here and being grandparents and that. You find when you retire, you have less time. My time management skills retired when I did, and I wondered how I could work and all the stuff I did. It's just like all of a sudden it's like, wow, you're getting nothing done now, right? Yeah, so
Yeah, I keep looking forward to retirement, thinking, oh, I better get so much sewing done. But I look at everyone I know who's retired, and they're so busy with everything else.
well, it's you go out, you plan your life, right? Because
Mm,
now you're planning every day to go have fun. So
mm,
it's hard to sit there and go, okay, what am I going to do today? Okay, I'm going to sew this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to chat with these guys. Or, it's like, yeah, you're all over the place. So yeah, my time management skills like evaporate. Just yeah, I probably got my time management skill fairy, drinking in a corner somewhere. I haven't found her yet, so.
yeah, I think I'm going to have enough trouble. I've got I think 3 weeks off for the Christmas break, and this is my first day of my holiday, so I'm like, right, I'm going to get this done today. I'm going to get this done tomorrow. I'm predicting by Monday it will all have fallen apart, and I won't get anything done over the whole break.
But that's the thing when you take a break, you're supposed to relax. You're supposed to like, okay, yeah, like I can put my feet up for, 3 hours and nobody says anything to me. Yeah, I know. But the reality is it doesn't happen that way. Yeah.
No, I'm bad. I have like two speeds. It's like do everything super fast, get it all done, or do nothing. I
Yeah.
really struggle with that sort of in between. Just relax and do things slowly.
Yeah, like right now I kind of more to the, oh, do nothing, maybe not. Well, maybe doing nothing is too much. It's kind of
Yeah.
it's
I'm
like
sitting here chatting to you and thinking, oh, I could be sewing while I'm talking to you, and I could be doing all these other things.
I know, and we think about our time management so much differently now. It's just, yeah. I kind of sit there. I was very fortunate to retire early, which was, is a real godsend for me in my health and, with my health issues and that. But at the same time, I'm like, yeah. You realize too how quickly, like you haven't got as much time left, so you better have fun every day and enjoy and spend time with people and make relationships, kind of put the
um,
little frosting on those relationships now. So yeah, it's hard. It's hard. And people want to talk and they want to do things and they want to share their life stories and their quilting journeys. And, it's like, yeah, we have a
um,
big thing going on now. What risks did you take? What risks did you take in your quilting career or your quilting to that proved to be right or proved to be wrong? What risk,
Mm.
what kind of a risk taker are you when you're doing your quilting? And I was sitting there like, I don't know, I think opening a YouTube channel was my big risk, but hey, I could be wrong.
A risk, a successful risk, so that's
Yeah,
good.
but I
Oh,
mean,
I didn't tell you. I opened my guild newsletter this week, and your photo was in there because they always have this little section of like, here's an interesting YouTuber who has good stuff, and so they were talking about your YouTube channel and the quilt along you're doing at the moment, the kaleidoscope one.
oh yeah, okay, the psychedelic
Yes.
snowflake, yeah.
Yeah, so you might get a whole lot of Christchurch quilters suddenly joining your channel because of that.
Well, that's okay. They're all welcome, right? But it was like you should sit there. Yeah, I know her. Yeah,
Yeah.
we talk. Yeah, it's not a problem. It's yeah, that's I know we've talked for a few gills now, and talking to gills has really been interesting because we always try and boost the community service program as well, like any patterns that you see on my channel, please feel free to use, that kind of thing, right? It's just because they're out there free, and even
Mm,
if it's not for charity work or whatever, they're free to use. And it's people always, do you mind if we use X or that? And it's like, well, of course, use them. Go ahead. It's not a problem, right? If that's what your members want to do, sure, go ahead and use it for your charity quilts, right? They've never said no. And I get to always see the show and tells when I speak. When I do speaking engagements, I get to see the show and tells. Those quilters, some of those quilters are amazing, just amazing what they're doing with Scrappy quilts. Like there was one guild, they said they told all their members to bring their scrappiest quilt to the meeting to show me, and I was like just blown away. It was like really
wow.
cool, so. But yeah, so your guild is talking about me. So do they want me to do a speaking engagement, or they're just talking?
I don't know. Yeah. I should ask them next time I'm at a meeting and see if they want to. Yeah.
Yeah, well, ask them, go ahead. If they want me to go speak there, I will. That's not a problem.
Yeah.
Like I say, I've just been enjoying that whole speaking thing. I was never a good public speaker, even though I did a lot of teaching when I worked. I was never good at, because I knew my material when I was teaching, I was okay with it. But being a public speaker is a different skill, a different skill
Mm,
set for me. And I get so much out of it, when I'm talking to these people. I try and show up a little early, and I, tell people if they want to come ask me questions, or talk to me, or, like whatever, that's fine too, right? So it's finding out what is inspiring others that just, I love it. I am just so addicted to that. But anyways, so what risk have you been taking in your quilting? What risks have you been doing?
um, I mean, I feel like anytime I cut into fabric, that's a risk. But yeah,
Yeah, I have days like that too.
um, I guess, yeah, I'm always trying to take risks because I'm always trying to try something new. And it's like, okay, I don't know how to do curve piecing. I'm just going to dive in and try curve piecing. I don't know how to do hand quilting. One of the projects I've been working on recently is actually hand quilted, and it's like I relied on one of your videos on how to do it.
And I'm sure there's people that are real old-fashioned hand quilters where they're rocking their needle. They look at that hand quilting video I did and they're just, oh, oh wow.
Yeah,
But
no, mine is very big stitches, very approximately in a straight line, but
well, and
it
the thing
works.
too is
Yeah.
aim for even stitches, right? Not
Mm,
necessarily tiny. Tiny will come,
yeah.
right? Everybody kind of, oh no, you got to start out with tiny. No, you don't. Tiny will come. Start with even. Try and make your stitches even, right? So, but yeah, that big stitch, I'm so
Mm,
glad that's come back into vogue, into modern vogue.
yeah.
Oh, before we left Canada, a lady came to me, she needed help repairing her great grandmother's quilt. And you know how, like in modern quilts, we do the straight line, a lot of straight line stitching, because that's kind of a more modern feel, it's
Yeah.
a cleaner modern feel. So it was Job's Troubles. Now it's all little squares and octagons, right?
Okay.
And
Yeah.
all the octagons are joined up by little squares. And it was just a um, stunningly hand pieced. And it was all fabrics. You could tell it was all original fabrics from like the 20s and 20s, 30s. And Job's Troubles from Barbara Bachman Encyclopedia came out in the 20s, something like that, right? Just gorgeous. And it was inspired by tile work, right?
Mm.
So okay. So that's kind of, it's a beautiful, beautiful repeating pattern. So we were talking about this, and I was telling her, I said, you realize your great grandmother, when she quilted this, she just quilted this on as straight lines.
Mm.
She goes, well, yeah. And I said, because you can see her quilting lines, she just went, like across in rows, right? And I said, that's today, it's now considered very modern to do that
Mm.
straight line stitching. And I said, it's funny how that has swung from a very traditionally pieced quilt, right?
Mm.
With traditional quilting and everything else into that modern feel, right? And she kind of like, and I was showing her pictures of, modern quilting with the straight lines and, of course, and we were looking at her quilt. It was like really eye-opening how that turnabout of events, or
Mm.
what we think of as modern, what we think of as traditional. And it's such a beautiful piece that she had so much repairs to do on. I hope she does well when we get back, because I showed her how I would repair it, go about repairing it, and you using the 30s reproduction prints, kind of those kinds of things,
Mm.
and hopefully that will create the same look throughout the quilt. But yeah, it was just stunning quilt to look at, but
Yeah.
anyways, but me on about art.
Well, that division between modern and traditional that so many people seem focused on at the moment, that it's like, oh, this is a modern quilt, this is a traditional quilt, and I can't tell the difference because so many of the same techniques, and it sometimes seems to just come down to what fabric did you pick. If you use solids, it's modern. If you use patterns, then it's traditional, and it's like,
Well, there's
so
definitions of modern quilting, right? But I mean, with the scrappy rage that's going on, because
mm,
there's a whole scrappy thing going on too. Scrappy is more traditional than it
mm,
is modern. However, scrappy lends itself really well to modern, right? Depending
yeah,
on the pattern and all the rest of it, right? So it's like, kind of, yeah, they're Scrappy marries traditional and modern, but yeah,
yeah. I don't know what my quilts are. I couldn't tell you if I do traditional or modern because I just do whatever seems right with what I'm doing.
yeah, I'm all over the place too. I said,
Yeah.
oh, I really love this, or I really love that, or I
Mm.
should quit doing that because I love it all.
Yeah.
I'm not selective about, I like this child better than the other child. I like it all, right? So it's like even the fabrics. I mean, yes, I love the really bright, crazy, K Facet, tulip pink, like all those, Libs Elliot and Allison Glass. I love all those bright ones, but I also like the Civil War stuff, and I love the reproduction 30 stuff, and I like Lori Holt stuff, and I like, it's like, and Pat Sloan too, right? Like, so we're kind of all over the place here.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like it all. I like
And
it
I
all.
love being able to throw all those different fabrics together into one quilt. And the ones we say, well, you can't possibly put, K facet with a traditional reproduction fabric. Yes, you can. If you
Yeah, you
pick the right
can. Of course you
fabrics, you can
can.
totally put them together. Yeah.
I have put them together. I made a quilt for my little sister in what was it? Whites, grays, and reds. Her favorite color is
Mm.
red, right? So like, like the whites had little gray, prints in them, and so it was very, so the red would pop out. And yeah, cave facets in there, like there's quite a few different things that are in there, and it's like, wow, is it really bright? That red really hops off that quilt, right? Because it's against such a pale palette, and red is such a like saturated color, right? So, it was easy to throw all the Civil War and the Lori Holt
Mm.
and all this stuff, all the reds into,
Yeah.
you just basically take your red scrap bucket and dump it out on your cutting table and away you go, right? So,
Exactly. And that's the thing, isn't it? It's like if you just had a cave facet piece and a reproduction piece and stuck them together, yeah, they wouldn't look great together. But if you put them with 20 other fabrics, they look fantastic together. Yeah.
yeah, and if you take Jen Kingwell's idea, when you put 100 together, they're great. It's fabulous.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah. If two fabrics don't match, just add more fabric.
Yeah, and eventually you don't notice those two fabrics that clash really well. It's like this potato chip thing behind me. There's pieces
Mm.
in there that they would clash if it was just those two, but I mean it looks crazy scrappy and modern, right? So yeah, I'm not gonna worry about it. It's all
Yeah,
fun.
and I've been admiring it as I sit here. It's like yeah.
I love your what are the bunting? The bunting in the
Oh
background there?
yes,
Yes.
yeah, yeah.
That's so cute. I wish I could. I don't have time to make those cutesy little things for my sewing room. My husband cameraman is on me about making design boards.
Mm.
Make them this weekend, don't forget. Yeah. And I left my hot glue at home, so I'm not doing hot glue. Wow, I hate hot glue.
Well, I made that bunting when someone at the union asked me if I could make bunting for an event they were having, and
Yeah.
so they like bought me a whole pile of fabric and said go and make bunting. So I did that, and those pieces were like I've never made bunting before, I need to learn how to do this. So I very quickly made those ones to make sure I knew how to do it before I started on the real stuff. But
Yeah, well, but is that a two-sided bunting? Like, did you just
yeah.
sew two sides of a triangle together and then put bias tape down, or?
No, it was that one. You do it. We start with a square, and you kind of sew the two diagonal sides together, and it all folds into a triangle. I think
Okay.
it might have been a Missouri Star pattern or something like that. Because I think it was based on using 10-inch squares, of course, because they were always trying to sell you the 10-inch squares. But
Yeah.
I just cut a whole bunch of squares to do it. So,
Yeah, the pre-cuts, there's some pre-cuts that just, I don't know about you, but the pre-cuts for me just, I'm not loving the pre-cuts anymore. So many,
yeah.
like they put out this pack, 10-inch squares, or the 5-inch squares really bug me. 10-inch, you at least have more fabric to work with. But the 5-inch squares, they've got that jagged edge or the pinked edge. And it's like, not all 5-inch squares are created equal.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, it's a 5-inch square. It shouldn't be different than the other 5-inch squares, right? So it's like, oh, yeah. So I don't do a lot of 5-inch squares anymore, 10-inch squares, or I try not to buy jelly rolls unless it's absolutely outstanding, that kind of thing, right? So,
Yeah, well, we've talked in the past about how expensive they are here, so I don't buy them very often. Sometimes I do if it's on special, maybe I'll buy it, just and then I might not use it as a pre-cut, but just use it as part of my general fabric.
oh yeah.
Um, Something that I really, really love, in which case it tends to just sit on my shelves there forever, and I don't touch it because I love it too much.
Yeah. Now, do you buy solids or do you buy tone on tone stuff?
Mostly tone on tone. I find solids a bit boring.
Yeah.
I do have behind me here. I actually bought like a whole bolt of grey because that's like the one solid that I do use is grey.
Yeah.
Um, and I've got a few smaller pieces of solids, but I don't tend to use solids very often. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of on the fence when it comes to using solids. I mean,
Mm,
I see them in quilts and modern quilts. I just like, oh wow, they're so striking. They're so striking because they're stark, right? And I
mm,
use probably, sometimes I've used a unexpected background and stuff like that, right? So like my unexpected background I would choose would be aubergine, right? Like that really
mm.
dark eggplant purple thing going on. And you put all your different brights in there and you work with it that way. But I don't, yeah, like I mean, other than solid blacks and stuff like that, I have a few solid
Oh,
whites,
solid
but
black and solid white, I don't like.
yeah,
I don't, yeah.
yeah, I
It's
find
like by those mid-tones like these, I'm more likely to use those as a solid than I will a stark black or a stark white because I find them just too stark. And that's where I want to go for a tone on tone.
Yeah, well, with the white too, like as soon as you start laundering it, depending on the
Mm,
water that you're using in your area, I mean, you can gray up a white background so quickly because you can't
yeah.
launder it. Laundering it, becomes a challenge, right? If you have a pet like a dog or something, the last thing you want is white on your quilt, so
Yes.
because they come in from the backyard all covered in mud and they jump on your bed.
Yeah.
Ah!
Yeah. My cat does that all the time.
We don't let our cat out anymore, but yeah,
Mm,
so he's, oh, you made this whole big quilt for me. Oh, thank you. It was like, get off the bed. Yeah, so I kind of give up trying to keep Albert off of the quilting table, especially down here, because my husband and I share this great big workroom area in our little home here. And yeah, he just wanders across the cutting tables whenever he wants. So it's like,
mm.
yeah, we've kind of given up on that, trying to keep them off and away from the fabric. So me for me, oh, thank you. It's like, ugh, get out. Yeah, so we don't, like I say, we don't have any travel plans or anything. I'm working finally on hand quilting my nosegay quilt. I have put that off long enough. We got down here and the first thing I did was pin it, and then I pinned it some more, and then I pinned it again. And I was like, okay, yeah, we can't we can't scrimp on the pinning, right? Because we're hand quilting it, so it is coming together. I'm getting the ugly color done first. I put brown cones on the bottom of the nosegay, and I
Yeah.
realize now, wow, there's a lot of brown on here for me to hand quilt again. So we're doing that first to get the worst part done. Oh, so have you got any hand quilting projects that you're in the middle of doing? You said you did, and were they big or?
Yes. Yeah. I've got one that I bought some fabric when I was up in Auckland, which you won't like because it's full of bugs and things. It's a New Zealand fabric and it's got uh, tuatara, which is a type of New Zealand lizard, and it's got a katapo spider, and it's got a weta, and it's got all these lovely New Zealand creepy crawlies on it. And so I used that as the basis of a quilt. And then I was down in Dunedin recently for a family funeral, and I stopped into a quilt shop because, as you do.
You have to. Yeah, you have to.
And
Yeah.
I saw this variegated thread that matched that fabric exactly. And it was just so beautiful. And it's like, okay, I've just changed all my plans for that quilt. I was going to just quilt it, but now I'm going to hand quilt it because this thread
Oh
is so
wow.
gorgeous. And I've never hand quilted before, but as we said, take risks, just dive in
Yeah,
there and do it.
yeah, just take, by the time you do, like if you're just doing outlining an echo or something like that, if your little blocks,
Yeah.
it'll look perfect. They look wonderful.
Yeah,
Now,
basically all I'm doing is it's it's a sort of mostly squares
yeah.
and rectangles quilts. So I'm just like doing a grid of straight lines over it, and it's looking good so far. So
Oh,
the little bit of
awesome.
yeah,
Awesome.
I think it's gonna be
Yeah,
good.
yeah, I brought my Pearl Cotton 8 down with me for,
Mm,
to help with this, but I'm just kind of like, okay, we have to do this first. We gotta get, some stuff. You can't play with your good stuff yet until
Yeah, well, this quilt was I have still many quilts in my pile over there to work on, and because I found this thread and it perfectly matched the fabric I'd found, it was like, well, I have to make this quilt now. I can't possibly finish one of the other quilts.
I know I've got to get I have a down here in Tucson, I have a 1915 Singer, right? 1915 Singer. It's a 1530, and it was an embroidery machine when it was, first, it was a commercial embroidery machine when it was first put out. And now it's been motorized, right? So I got to get Brutus, I call him Brutus, because he's a commercial machine. He wasn't a domestic machine. I got to get him up and running yet. And I'm like, okay, I got to, I haven't hand quilt or not free motion quilted for a while. So I've got to relearn those skills again.
Yes.
Because kind of like you don't use it, you lose it very quickly.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, oh dear. Yeah, I've got some smaller projects to work on, but
Mm,
we'll get to those. We'll get to
yes. Yeah, I have a lot of small projects, and I need to be good over these holidays because I have got a family wedding coming up at the end of the holidays, and I promised that I would make the like serviettes for it, and I've made like about 10. I've got to make 40. So I'm like, I've got to get on and make those. And I bought some beautiful linen fabric in New York for the, and it's like I've cut them all out, but now I've got to do those very fine little hems around the outside, and oh, that takes forever.
And were you doing those fine little hems by hand or by machine?
Machine.
Oh,
I'm
thank
no
God.
way I'm doing them by hand. But even by machine, like just getting them fine, like you have to like fold them so carefully and
Yeah.
stitch them so carefully, and
And
I
linen,
don't.
sometimes it wobbles, right?
It does.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
But linen is beautiful to work with too.
Mm.
So, do you put things like linen in your cotton quilts?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
I
like if it's in the pile, I use it. Yeah.
I do too, because I figure it's, it's a natural fiber, it's going to breathe well, so why
Yeah.
not? And just sometimes I'll starch a linen so it doesn't wobble. Sometimes
Mm.
it has that, it's not woven as tightly as a cotton sometimes, and I'll starch them, but yeah, other than that, because I did end up with a couple of pieces of linen that were more apricot toned, just lovely,
Mm.
really lovely.
Nice.
But
Yeah.
they're very much that looser weave, so, but yeah, so we've been shopping, so I don't get anything for Christmas. Okay, so it looks like we're gonna get going here pretty quick. So I want to thank you for coming and chatting with me today. This has just been so awesome having this fun little friendship that we've been having. So, and I do
Yes.
congratulate you on your 1,000 subscribers. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's so
And
cool.
actually, I should use this video to announce that because I reached 1,000 subscribers
Yes,
finally.
yes, you
after all these
should.
years.
Yes. Oh, please, please do.
I'm going to have a little giveaway because I like to do a giveaway when I hit milestones. And the way I do my giveaways is I will make a mini quilt for the winner, and it'll be themed on a word that they give me. So I want everyone on my video to leave a comment with one word that you want me to theme a mini quilt around. So it might be a color, or it might be a theme, or it might be an object. For my 500 subscribers video, I got the suggestion of sunflowers, so I made a sunflower mini quilt. Previous one to that was batiks, so I made a quilt with batiks. So just one word, and I will pick at random one of the commenters and make them a mini quilt and send them to them, and wherever they are in the world.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah.
they have to make a comment on your channel, right?
Yes, yes. So it has
Oh,
to be on
okay.
my channel because I'm not going to go and monitor all of Brenda's videos to check the comments there.
Yeah, because the comments like purple would be kind of like, oh. Okay, purple, purple. No, you got to comment purple on put
Yes.
that channel
So,
on her channel, not my channel. Yeah, that's.
yes.
But I
Yeah.
was very happy to see that you went over 1,000 subscribers. It was just like I was very, very thrilled for you. It was like you worked
Oh,
very hard over how many years on YouTube?
oh,
I've been
quite a few
watching
years
you.
now. Yeah.
I've been watching you forever. So it's like, yeah, I thought, yes,
Yeah.
gee, yes, they did it. Yes.
Yeah. It's been a bit of a slow progress. I think because I don't like sticking to one thing. I mean, most people would have like they would have a travel channel or they would have a sewing channel. I have a sometimes it's travel, sometimes it's sewing, sometimes it's just
Life.
a
Yeah.
blog. So I think that doesn't do well in the YouTube algorithms, but I'm having a lot of fun with it. And yeah, it's really great to. I remember getting very excited when I got to 100 because I realized there were now more people watching my video than just my friends. Because up until then, it was like people I knew and had forced to watch my video. And so now it's 1,000. It was definitely more than my friends because I don't have 1,000 friends.
But
So
yeah, yeah, I don't.
yeah.
Yeah, I hear you on that too. Yeah, it's like, wow, I've got actually people I don't know watching my videos. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. It's an exciting feeling. You think, well, people think what I'm doing is interesting enough to watch it. That's quite a privilege to have that. It's yeah.
And when Les and I first started too, I thought for sure I'll never get to 100 subscribers, because you watch it and it's like, yeah, no, it's just creeping along, and then all of a sudden I'm at 500. And I'm sitting there, yeah, I'll never get to 1,000. It's fine, because you start, slowing down, and it's like, and then all of a sudden we hit 1,000, and it was like, wow.
Yeah.
We made 31 cents that month, but we hit 1,000. It was like, yay! I don't know why I'm like excited over 31 cents, but I was excited.
Well, I don't think I'm going to make myself rich on this very soon, but yeah.
Nah,
But that's not why I'm doing it. I'm doing it because I'm enjoying the process. I have fun with the creativity of making a video, and I like sharing the quilts I make with people, and I like sharing where I travel to. And
yeah,
yeah.
especially I love the stuff that you do around New Zealand. I have never gone to New Zealand, and because of health issues, I don't know if I'll get there. But I sit there and I think, wow, it's just to watch some of that stuff, it's just,
Yeah.
wow, it's so beautiful, so rugged. Some of it is just, unspoiled beauty, right? So
Well,
I
that
know.
was one of the nice things about the pandemic was because our borders closed and I couldn't travel anywhere else. I had to like look at my own country through new eyes and go, hey, actually, there's stuff here that's worth making videos about, and I should show off my country a bit. And
Oh yeah,
up
and
until
it's
then, I'd only done
beautiful.
videos, travel videos of like going to, you know, Paris or somewhere like that. And that's great. But look at these wonderful things we have just in our backyard. Go and show
Yeah,
that.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Mm,
know. And Canada too is the same way. I think I like when I like looking at scenery, I like looking at rugged terrain and all this stuff, right? And we have some beautiful, beautiful scenic panoramic views in Canada
mm,
too, right? And it's just like, yeah, it my daughter and her husband are now living what is considered northern Canada. And what the area they're in, it's lush and green with,
mm.
like with spruce trees and pine and lodgepole pine and all sorts of Alberta rose and all sorts of ground covering. I mean, it's just gorgeous where they're at. And of course, they have this amazing lake not too far from them. It's probably the prettiest lake, in all of Alberta. And you wander around there and you think like, wow, what a blessing we have this. So,
Mm. But
it's
even where you are now, Arizona, I went through Arizona many years back, and that's beautiful in its own way. It's so stark and interesting, and the colors of the deserts, and
even the desert without it being in bloom, I think it's
mm,
beautiful, right? I mean,
yeah,
it's just that, and we're down where the swallows, you got the ones with arms, the
mm,
big cactuses with arms. I mean, it is just amazing what you wander around and I mean, I could just look at that stuff all day, right? So
uh,
because it
and
is
all
so
those
different.
reds and yellows in the landscape, and I mean that's kind of that would inspire a quilt for me every time, I think.
Actually, Arizona, because it's very dusty where we are, and we're alpine desert, not basin desert, right, in Tucson. So at cloud when there's cloud cover just before sunset and the dust in the air, right? The sunsets are like spectacular.
Mm,
They'll just the whole sky will be reds and yellows and oranges and the beautiful pinks that come out of there because of all the
mm,
dust and all
yeah.
the, yeah, it's just, yeah, it's really gorgeous, right? And the clouds make it more interesting too. Sunsets without clouds, I just, eh,
Yeah.
not as interesting, right? But as soon as you put that combination together, it's just amazing, right? So, and because we're alpine, we're in around the mountains. Mountains are all around us
Mm,
here, and we're what 21, 24 feet above sea level, right? So it's about the same sea level height as Edmonton, right? But there's mountain ranges around us, so the sun
mhm.
all of a sudden goes down and poof, it's dark.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay. There was no, so you got to get out there and watch the sunset while it's there because it don't last too long. But yeah, it's stunning, just stunning
Mm,
here, like, and we're like good day's drive to the Grand Canyon. That
wow.
is like,
Mm,
wow, yeah, it's impressive.
yeah.
But there's so many other panoramic views, like just going up to Kit Peak, where
Mm,
the big
yes,
telescope
yes,
is.
we went up there. I've been there.
It is
Yeah.
amazing because you can
Mm.
actually see on the south side of Kit Peak, you can actually see Mexico.
Oh, wow.
They're so far up higher than the rest
Yeah.
of the plateau, right? You
Mm.
can actually see it's probably the very edge of, the border of Mexico because you're so far
Yeah,
up.
we went up there as the sun was setting, so it was dark by the time we got to the top, so we didn't get to see the views, but I still wanted to go up there because I studied astronomy many, many years ago. And so it's like, oh, Kitzbühel, I know about that place. That's, yeah.
Yeah. And when you go up during the daytime, it's a scary little road that you're driving up, but the views are amazing. The views are just
Yeah.
amazing. What you see, because you see the desert floor and you see little spots of green everywhere, and
Mm,
you'll find a little creek bed and there'll be a whole bunch of green there, so yeah, it's interesting, very interesting.
yeah.
So, anyways, I'm going to bid you adieu, my dear.
Yes.
This has been so much fun. I'm so glad you made the time for this, or that we
Yeah.
could make time for this, because I know your schedule is busy crazy and mine's busy crazy, and it's just like we have to put
Yeah.
it on the calendar because apparently
We
it
do.
doesn't work otherwise.
Plan months in advance to better get together. It's been
Okay,
really great to see you, and I hope you have an amazing Christmas and
you
a great
too.
year. And yeah,
Yes, sending all our best wishes, our holiday wishes, and Merry Christmas, all that stuff to you and your family too.
and
Okay, you
yeah,
take care. Okay, bye everybody. Have
bye.
some fun. Love you.
Jackie Diano.
My husband and I would love to thank you for watching our videos and being part of our Facebook group and coming to our Zoom meetings. It's been so much fun on this little adventure that we've been on YouTube. I just want to we are doing Zoom so dates still coming up and those dates are going to be listed in the show notes of this video for the next year. We're making that commitment to you, and we're having a lot of fun with those Zoom so dates. So please, feel free to come in. Even if you're not a quilter and you just want to come and do some crocheting or knitting or whatever, yeah, come on down. We're good. The other thing is I still am doing speaking engagements for the quilt gals just to help them out to get back on their feet. I am doing only Zoom meetings, and I have a PowerPoint presentation that talks about all the free patterns that we have put out and will be putting out to the world. So they're more than welcome to take any of my patterns and use them for their charity quilts, right? So that's kind of important that they know that we're there. So if you are part of a guild, let your programs person know that we're speaking for free over Zoom only. We're not doing any traveling or anything like that. The other thing that I want to let you know is that we do in our Facebook group, everybody's sharing pictures and having fun and asking questions, and it's a hoot. And we do still have the room feature in Facebook that we can go sew within. My admin person Kathy was able to set that up. It's no longer called Brenda's room, it's called Kathy's room, but we got a room. We do have a room working, so we're all happy with that. So if you get the opportunity to come join us on Facebook, that's great. We'd love to have you. So until we meet again, I hope you have you and your family have an absolutely amazing weeks ahead. Okay, you take care. All right, bye.